Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some of the Oceania Sevens. We haven't done Sevens in a while on the channel. That is mainly because there has been no Sevens on, but now the Olympic qualification is on the line here for Samoa and also Tuvalu, a nation of only around 10,000. Big opportunity here to go head-to-head with the Samoan side that have recently come off a win over New Zealand in Cape Town, that have recently put on some brilliant performance in the overall Sevens circuit. Should be a very fantastic game. They are a part of Pool B. I should mention, alongside, of course, Pool A, the top side from those two sides go into the final to work out who makes their way to the Olympics. But they are about to show the starting lineups for these two teams. I'll be honest, I have never called the Tuvalu game. And outside of the Oceania Sevens, I wonder if I will ever get the chance to be able to do it again. So hopefully they do well in this game. We've already seen a few sides bringing up the total of 50 points. We have got the Hamish emojis from Brandon. Hey Hamish, welcome in mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. And Malutafa is here in the chat, has said thank you in there as well. So we have got a total of 5 of these games that we are covering on the channel today, ladies and gents. And then alongside that, we have got the UFC tomorrow morning. Hi Hamish, says Jason Adams, welcome in mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. Looks like a decent crowd in Australia for the Samoan side here. Quite a few supporters in attendance. The women's side already playing a little bit earlier on today. And now the men get to take to the field. And they are considered the favourites as the option to qualify for the Olympics. We also get to see Fiji in action later on. New Zealand, a Barbarians type outfit of Oceania. And then also alongside that, Niue will get the chance to play Fiji just around the corner. But Samoa versus Tuvalu, it is supposed to be starting in around 2 minutes' time. I believe at the moment they are on schedule with when they are having the games taking place, just getting the two sides in the tunnel. I do see quite a few familiar faces for the Samoans. They have gone with the 3 co-captains in this contest. It is Valvasa Afasua, Paul Eti Slater, and then also Paul Scanlon. So the only man who gets added in there as a vice-captain in this case, well, they've actually got a couple changes. Va'a Pilomaliko no longer got his co-captaincy, and also no Malani Matavao in this leg of the Sevens. A few other players still missing due to injuries, so that is why they are not there, but they are just showing the games that are coming up for these two sides. Tuvalu, they have got the Cook Islands later on tonight. Samoa have got their game up against the Solomon Islands, who have actually just recently got themselves a 50 points to 5 win over the American Samoans. We have got there a covering day 2. I didn't know this is on, says Brandon. So at the moment, day 2, I believe the evening of day 2, we are going to be covering on the channel. The morning and early afternoon, though, which I believe is actually just the afternoon for us here in New Zealand, we won't be able to cover due to playing sport tomorrow. But the evening games, we will be able to cover. So we'll still be able to do probably about the same amount of games as we do today, as we do tomorrow. As also then, Gamish, see here's a Brandon. This game just about to kick off. Now, I'll be honest, they normally put breaks on New Zealand TV when they're showing the lineup. So I couldn't even tell you one Tuvalu player who has made their way out onto the field for this contest. I recognise, of course, the faces of the Samoan team since we have done quite a few of their games in the past, but Tuvalu were going in blind, so hopefully we go all right here. But it is kicked off long by Samoa. Nicely taken inside of the 22. That's the thing, Tuvalu probably going to be the side that get out-muscled throughout this fixture, seeing as Samoa, they've been on the circuit for a while. They've got some good sides to them. Papua New Guinea actually a side that was impressive earlier on today. In terms of bringing that physicality, that is going to be the penalty one, though, by Samoa already. Now Paul Scanlon goes across to this left-hand side. A little bit of a handling error on the ground. But it's still available for Valvasa Afasua. Samoa using this one to the left-hand side. We can see the hand up. Out wide for Motu Opitai. He goes in and scores the first try of the contest. He's got a lot of size to him. He's a skilled individual on the 7th circuit. And the first try of the contest now coming for none other then Motu Opitai. We'll go like this and go like this as well. We've actually got to update the scoreboard manually for ourselves in this game as well. I should mention that is due to them only updating it at the end. Talofa Hamish says it was there from Chris. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing extremely well. Are you looking forward to covering the Sevens again? I am. I've been missing the Sevens. I believe the last league we had was in about July or somewhere around there. Since then, we've had a whole Rugby World Cup that we have covered on the channel, but yeah, it is great to have the Sevens back, and it is officially back in the first week of December. It will be the Dubai Sevens. I've already mentioned it. I'm delaying my birthday so that I can cover the whole weekend of the Dubai Sevens, or at least as many games as physically possible. I'm finally back watching the channel after the World Cup final. I took a bit to get over the heartbreaks. There's been the Chilean Mari. Yeah, it was a close final, that is for sure. But I know that a lot of New Zealanders, they're motivated. That's going to already be another try now. I believe that will be Tuvalu Sevens, who does manage to score it for Samoa. Of course, a brilliant man on the Sevens circuit as well. And they've got a few mainstays, a few missing due to injuries. Oh yeah, I have to update the scoreboard, don't I? That is something I'm not used to doing. But yeah, it is great to have you back, Ben. And hopefully, Sevens-wise, they go a little bit better. I know they've got their big game tonight up against the Fijians. That is taking place at about 10:30 New Zealand time. We will be covering that one on the channel as well. But that kick has gone over for Paul Scanlon. I just shown, I believe there was Fa'afui Falaniko on the sideline. There's a few players, I can't remember exactly who it was, but someone had a broken wrist. I don't think it was Falaniko though. It was right near the end of the Sevens circuit. Don't say anything about the final. Says Brandon, I'm sure it will get mentioned quite a bit. Nice running here from the Samoans. It's going to be a third try, just straight through. Alafepo, the man who scores it. Not a lot of defence at the moment, unfortunately, for the Tuvalu side. I'm trying to learn some of their names, but unfortunately they just haven't had the ball. So we haven't actually heard any names being used for the Tuvalu team. But Samoa already 19-0 in this contest after only a matter of about 3 minutes. Getting off to a brilliant start in this match. They're still trying to get over. See, there's a Brandon there. They're just showing the bench for Tuvalu. Of course, Samoa, some brilliant players to come off their bench, whether that's Va'a Pilomaleko, normally used to have the captaincy, or at least the co-captaincy for these Samoans. And also we have got there, hey Hamish, have you caught up on all your sleep after the World Cup? I'll be honest, I think no. I think I've almost had a worse sleep schedule after the Rugby World Cup. Paul Scanlon straight through. That will be another try here. And that is in the 3.5 minute mark. I have to just keep on updating the score. No, at the moment I might as well just put around 50 and just leave it as a running one. But we'll go back up to 26-0 now for the Samoans after only those 4 minutes. But yeah, my sleep schedule, it's still taken a little bit to get it back adjusted. Mainly because I haven't been able to sleep at night time that well. But I think that's just because I broke it during the World Cup. So hopefully I get some sleep soon. Would be ideal. And well done, Samoa, says Chris. Yeah, this is certainly one of the games that they will... Well, they'll know that they should win comfortably. And at the moment they are proving that they will be able to do just that. It's whether or not when they go head-to-head with the likes of... the Solomon Islands, they look pretty strong in their last game. That is actually the next contest that will be taking place for the Samoans. Well, we appreciate you being sleep-deprived on our behalfs. Says Vesperlind. Well, that's the thing. I was not going to be missing any of that Rugby World Cup. That is for sure. We covered 48 games on the channel. That is something that I can very happily say is one of the biggest accomplishments from the YouTube channel that we have had in terms of being able to cover and meet so many new people while doing those games. Rugby World Cup over. So now Rugby Podcast with Rugby Itch will stop. Or no, I think we're still doing it. I haven't really heard from him though in about a week and a half. I feel like he might still be recovering from the World Cup as well. We have got there, sleep is overrated anyway. Do you still yawn on request? Says Jay. Well, it is great to see you once again, Jay. I think I almost sneeze on request now. For some reason, hay fever's been kicking me in the face for this year. So I probably sneezed more than I've yawned throughout the Rugby World Cup, which is kind of impressive seeing as the games are all at really weird times. Tuvalu get the free kick at scrum time. Here the boys go. A chance from 35 metres out from the try line here. Another offload. Like I mentioned, I looked everywhere that I could, and I couldn't find the Tuvalu lineup to save myself. I think that they showed it while we were watching an ad about a car here in New Zealand, which, of course, doesn't help us out too much. And also good to see you, champ. You're a part of our passion. Says a hero there. Massive shot coming in from Samoa. Tough defence to have to try and break through, although the ball has been knocked on. Now another scrum feed. So I'll probably go back and watch this game about 4 times so that I can learn any Tuvalu name that we have got just that little bit of a chance of picking up. And also good to see you, champ. And also upgrading to sneezing. Impressive, says Jay Hayes. Yeah, sneezing on demand. I guess that's something that if theoretically you put a finger or a feather up your nose, you're going to sneeze anyway, aren't you? But, yeah. I guess no fingers involved in this case. Do you need tissues beside you? Says Simran. Yeah, I got a box down there just in case. Also a drink bottle. That's unrelated though. Like I don't need that for sneezing, but just as a hydration beverage. Don't worry, Hamish, you will do it again in 4 years. Says Brandon, and I've missed Chick Chick Bang. Says Vesperlin. That actually became a hoodie as well, fun fact. We actually had it put on a hoodie on the Kiwi Lads merch store. Limited edition. And the Tuvalu teams are normally in some of the comments on their Facebook page, bro. Says Ben the Chilean Mari. See, that's the thing. I looked on their rugby union page, saw nothing about the team in terms of who has actually been selected. I saw a couple pictures of who was in the team, but it didn't actually tell me their names. But currently half-time, 24 points to 0 in favour of Samoa. And speaking of sneezing, I am about to sneeze. I will be back in just 1 second, ladies and gents. There we go. Sneezing is done. Why if talking about sneezing? Because I just did, Brandon. Oh, yeah, I've got that. Don't worry, Hamish. You'll do it again in 4 years. Yeah, half-time, 24-0 was... I got 26 because I have to update it myself. He must have missed one of those kicks. Should have theoretically got 3 out of 4, but only sitting 2 from 4 at the moment for Samoa. But yeah, overall, half went the way that it was expected. So I guess the big question now for the second half is, are we going to see any chance of a 50-pointer for the Samoans? Looking through at their bench, I would say yes, because they've still got BJ Lima, Levi Milford, Va'a Pilomaliko. What are the points so far? So it is sitting 24 points to 0. A sneeze or a sip of beer, says Ben the Chilean Murray. That would be very strategic, wouldn't he? Just have a little stash down there, but I got the water bottle, which is almost very empty at this point. Probably need to fill that up at some stage. Oh yeah, I've got there the clap in there from Amelia, and also Samoa by 45, says Ben the Chilean Mari. So question, is that including a try for Tuvalu? By any chance? Like at the end of the day, they've had 2 scrums, which I think is a lot more than some people anticipated. A knock on from Samoa, and then also winning the free kick at their scrum time. Do you have hay fever, or do you take hay fever tablets? I do not know. Which probably makes sense why I have hay fever, but I remember trying about 3 of them and none of them actually did anything. So that's why I don't have them. I have a banana a day. That seems like a good idea, but I don't think that is scientifically helpful for hay fever. Now already Samoa, another chance here in the early stages of the second half. We don't have any stats because, of course, Sky Sport here in New Zealand, they show ads rather than showing us anything to do with what's happening outside of the 14 minutes of rugby. And that sounded like a bit of a shot. It was intentional. Motu Opitai, nice run forward. Now after this left-hand side for the Samoan skip pass, goes out wide to Taunu Naulivaya, finds his offload away, and a lot of young, talented players coming out of the Samoan team here. Should mention, though, no Tuna Tuitama. I expected to see him on this competition, definitely with Olympic qualification on the cards. Can you just sneezing again? Says Brandon, I probably prefer not to sneeze too much. Image once again, Black Cats, and again, in the ODI World Cup semi-final versus India. Will you cover it? What's your prediction of that match? Says Coding. I'll be honest, I hadn't really thought about it too much. That is another try, this time for Motu Opitai out on the wing, mainly because, like, Pakistan, you know, like, yes, it seems like New Zealand are secure, but it wouldn't take much for England to absolutely have their arse end fall out and mean that Pakistan beat them comfortably and then actually overtake New Zealand on the net run rate. I'm saying it's not a high probability, but if any team's going to do it, based off current form, it would be England. So I don't think we want to get our hopes up too much yet, just in case. You know, of course, if they do go head-to-head with India, she's going to be a tough task anyway. But, yeah, New Zealand, they are almost through, but they just need to make sure that England at least give them a little bit of help and have a close game with Pakistan. Going to be kicked off now for the Samoans. Be put up high, close to the touchline, nicely slapped back by Motu Opitai, but Tuvalu end up with the ball now. So Samoa Levi's in that breakdown. He's causing problems, winning the penalty again for Samoa. It is glitching at the moment, but I hear quick tap and go, so we will base it off that Motu Opitai now, breaking through 2 more tackles. At the moment, it sounds like I'm just saying two players' names that I know, but it's only really been in his and the Olivia's hands. Although now we get to see BJ Lima find the pass on the outside to Alafipo. And it is a penalty won by Masifao. I believe Tuvalu getting it wrong in the breakdown. Now Paul Scanlon goes out wide to Olivia, one-on-one. And the defence was lacking a little bit. Tuvalu concede again. And it looks like that is going to bring on the subs here for the Samoans. We will update the score once more. One moment, we'll go like this. I think this will be a tough kick, so we'll make it 34 points to 3. In that regard, it is impossible for Pakistan. They need to win by 284 runs. Chase whatever England scores in 16 balls. Mathematically possible, but practically impossible, says Coding. I mean, that first option's doable. We saw New Zealand lose to South Africa by 200 runs. So, all I'm saying, Pakistan get themselves, let's say, 380, 400 runs in their first innings, bowl the English out for less than 100. She's a possibility. So, the toss is going to be extremely crucial in that game. 36-0 at the moment in this one. Jason, that is going to be actually a free kick to Tuvalu for that kick not going to 10 metres. Now, quick tap taken on the halfway line. 10.5 minutes through this contest. First real attacking chance. It's running forward up to the 22. The commentators are not helping him out one bit. They haven't mentioned a single name of any Tuvalu player. Still going to be another penalty though, won by Tuvalu. We might get to find out a name soon if they manage to score themselves a try. They've got men on the left-hand side, getting a little bit selfish though, not finding the pass till it was a little bit too late. Now 1 metre out from the line, another penalty going the way of Tuvalu. Quick tap taken, smashed in the tackle there. Looks like there might even be a bit of push and shove there off the ball. And another penalty won by Tuvalu. Now this is actually something that has hurt Samoa throughout some of their recent games, is their discipline. Now up against a side like Tuvalu, they should be doing a lot better when it comes to that penalty count. But that is already about the 5th penalty now that they've given away. Now Tuvalu only 2 metres out from the Samoan try line. And this time Samoa get themselves the penalty. It is Valvasa Afasua, one of the 3 co-captains, I should say, who helps his side out there. But currently 36 points to 0. Samoa kicking that one for the touchline. They'll be about 15 out from their own line here. Go like this. Maybe we'll go like that. There we go. I do have to say, this Oceania Sevens competition, it hasn't really been advertised to the extent that I think a lot of people would have liked to see. Like I said as well, like New Zealand on the broadcast, anytime the lineups are shown, we don't get to see them due to ads being run. Also, alongside that, at halftime, we don't get to see halftime stats due to ads being on. So you don't actually get to learn much about these games or much about these new players that we are seeing for the first time. Like they said about, I think it was the Samoan side, the woman, they were taking on, now I have to refresh my brain, it might have been Nauru or someone along those lines. And they were saying that some of these ladies have come from playing on gravel to now getting the chance to play on a grass pitch is massive. But that first game, it was actually the only game that we got to see the lineups for without the ad break alongside it. So it's a bit of a shame. I feel like this is the chance to show off some of the new players that are on the circuit. Going to the short side, Tuvalu. Oh, that's a cynical tackle there. Yellow card at least for Samoa. And, yeah, yellow card. Be off the field for the rest of this game. We have got Amelia with the clapping. And there is also, yeah, good performance from Samoa, although still a lot to be desired, I would say, with them overall in the competition. Best chance for Tuvalu of the game now, up against a 6-man Manu Samoan team. To the right-hand side now. Ramiata, that's the first name I've heard. Going a little bit wider. Trying to find that chance, although the ball has been stripped out of the hand. Sits back up for Valvasa Afasua. There was a knock-on. So that will be the end of that game, ladies and gentlemen. And the score, 36 points to 0. No, sorry, we've got 3 seconds remaining. We've still got time for one more scrum. Not quite over yet. The Samoans, for the rest of this game, they will be playing with only the 2 men. Yeah, pretty bad tackle, I think, is the best way of describing it from Levi Milford there. There's the siren sounding now. It's 25 degrees for this day that they are playing on in Queensland. So they are 3 hours behind us here in New Zealand. So anyone trying to work out what time these games are taking place, pretty much if you add 3 hours if you're in New Zealand, that is exactly when the games are taking place. That is a knock-on from Tuvalu to close out this matchup at 36 points to 0. I will be honest, Tuvalu will take that. That's not bad. We've seen some big scores. We saw Solomon Islands get 50 points. We saw Papua New Guinea get themselves 50-ish points. And their game, Fiji versus Niue, we could see around 65, 70 points. But Samoa, 36 points to 0 over Tuvalu. Discipline really the talking point for them in this matchup. And we will have to wait and see how they improve for their next game up against the Solomon Islands. Because if they don't, Solomon Islands, they've got a decent team in this competition. So, of course, a lot to be learnt, but a lot to, I guess, be happy with as well for the Samoans in this matchup. But nonetheless, we do thank you all very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. The next game that we are back for is actually Fiji versus Niue. That is going to be taking place just a little bit later on in the evening. In fact, that is about 3 minutes away from the kickoff of that contest. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you all for the next one.